Welcome to another edition of the McAnulty Method, where financial expert Frank McAnulty is going to share his insights and knowledge with us so that we might live a better financial life. And of course, Colin Sorrells is joining us again to give us another point of view, which is always helpful. Colin, Frank, good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Bill.
Good to see you.
Now, this is a little bit unusual because, Frank, you really teased us by laying out this statement that there is one thing that you can do to become a multimillionaire if you do it 8 times. Do this one thing 8 times, and it can make you a multimillionaire. I got to tell you, I want to know what this is and what's going on.
Well, Bill, it's my favorite topic, real estate. You know, I'm gonna show you a little chart here, and then we'll talk about it. How you can do this. So here's a chart. I've been working with another group on investing in real estate, and the deals we've been doing are development deals. And after 2 or 3 years, we're getting our money back plus double our money back. So we're doubling our money in up to 4 years. So it's got me thinking, okay, if I had $25,000 to put into one of these deals today, and it could double in 4 years, and then double in another 4 years. And remember, we don't even have to be talking about young people. We could be talking about somebody in their 40s. But I was thinking about, okay, when somebody's 30, they've saved up enough money to do something like this. Well, and these deals continue to happen. They might get better, they might get worse. But I was fascinated to see what happens if I put my money in, the 25,000. 4 years later, I can put 50 in because it's doubled, then 100, 200, 400, 800, a million six. It just keeps going up. So that at the end of 32 years, if I start with 25,000, I have over $6 million. If I start with 35, I have over 8. Start with 50, I have over 12. You know, so it's, to me, it's, and of course, I'll stop sharing this for now. You're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, you can't get returns like that. That's unrealistic. And, you know, I don't agree because they are very realistic, especially when you use the leverage of real estate to turbocharge your returns on a deal. And that's what these companies do. And I found a lot of these deals, well, not a lot, but several of these deals, because they come and go on places like Realty Mogul, CrowdStreet, which are crowdsourcing real estate groups that raise money for deals. And I will admit, I am talking about development deals. So they're a little risky than just a buy and hold. But you think about it, you think about those charts. I'm going to show it again because I love this chart. If you risk $25,000 when you're 30 and you're able every 4 years to find a new deal to roll the money into, you have to do it 8 times. And you're over $6 million when you're 62 years old. To me, that's incredible. Yes, I'm ignoring taxes, but you can do these things through an IRA account, a self-directed IRA. So you can do it without worrying about taxes. And you're only risking these start amounts. After that, you're not risking any of your capital.
Colin, what do you think about this?
Seems very straightforward to me. I guess my one question with this would be, we really haven't, the markets have been going like crazy most places on homes, at least in California they have. You already excluded taxes from this. What effect do you think it really knocks you off course much if we had another kind of pullback in the market? Do you think that could come? if I'm thinking about doing this today and I'm looking, let's just say in the short term, let's say the next 8, 12 years, is there something that could kind of throw my investment where I don't hit those numbers?
There's always something that can throw your investment where you don't hit those numbers. But it's the same with the stock market. There's some people claim the stock market's 40% overvalued, so it should drop like a rock. But here's the difference. And I'm a big fan of residential real estate, apartment type deals, because to me, people always got to have a place to live. And yes, it might not work so the deal ends in 3 years. It may end in 5 years instead of 3 because of a down cycle. The cash flow may be slightly less. Okay, so take my blue sky example and say, we only make half as much money in 32 years as he's showing us. So for $25,000 at the end of 32 years, I only have $3.2 million. That's, I wish somebody would have pointed me in this direction when I was, in my late 20s and said, hey, this is how you can make money. And I know people who have done this. I have friends that all they did was buy a few pieces of real estate along the way, and they're literally worth 10 to 15 million dollars now.
Yeah, well, I mean, because nothing says, at 30 you put that 25 in. There's nothing that says at 31 you can't do it again with 25 and do it again with 25, and and so it's all, when it comes right down to it, it's all about time. If you're 60 and you go, okay, I'm going to do this, well, you're going to be hoping you live to 92. And then you're going to make your kids very, very happy. Or the grandkids very, very happy, because you're going to leave them a whole lot of money. But the beauty of it is anybody can do it. And with groups like Realty Mogul, there's multiple ones of these, not promoting anybody, just the ones I know. It's, once again, notice I said start at 30. Okay. So you got the next how many years to just research, just watch every deal, see everything that happens, just educate yourself. It's your money. Where people get in trouble is when they just blindly put money into things and it goes away. So that's what I meant by, you do something 8 times and you become a multi-millionaire. That's it. Every 4 years, you need to find a new deal. Well, let me one more question as a college student, right? Because in your graph, I think one of the key points, you started with $25,000, but is there a minimum to these deals? Is there, if I start with 10, is it something like a brokerage account where, okay, if you don't have 25, we're not going to deal with you?
Excellent question. And yes, you're absolutely right. I started with 25 because that's what the minimum is in most of these deals. But that's also why I said 30. Not the day you graduate from college, not 2 years later, 6, 7 years later after you're out of college. Hey, I got 25 grand. I've got 35 grand. So that's why I started, because you're absolutely right. It's the only way really to do real estate with small sums of money is buy into a REIT through the stock market, which I like those too. But you don't get as big a bang for your buck potentially as you do with something like this.
Well, it was such a good deal. I had to ask if there was a way to start earlier. So,
well, you can always put some money in with your parents and get started now.
There you go.
About time.
Speaking of time, I think that brings us to the end of this segment, gentlemen. Frank, this was fascinating. It's a great idea. And, I will let you know in 32 years how it goes for me.
There you go. And, I wanted to say, we're going to have somebody in the next few weeks that's going to come in and tell us why crypto is wonderful. why it's a new thing, and why we should all watch it, which I'm fascinated to hear. He actually works for a cryptocurrency company, and I want to know more too.
That's excellent. Might be a sweet way to get that 25 grand to put into the real estate.
Yeah, you could go bet on red at Vegas too, but that's not a recommended way.
All right. Thank you, guys. We will see you next time.